Hey Pisces, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. So we're going to take what works, leave what doesn't, not shoehorn the story into our lives or our lives into this story. So, if I don't catch your wavelength, check your other major placements. Rising sign's a good one in particular. And if you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button because it makes me happy and it helps other people find the channel. And find these messages. Okay, we're starting with oracle cards. We've got Moonology here, and we're going to move to Urban Crow. What have we got here, Moonology? Come on, anything? Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, we got something. Sorry to doubt you. Although there was just a reading, I think it was Capricorn, but I got nothing from Moonology. Very strange, but message worked out. Okay, Urban Crow's usually pretty generous too. What's going on, Urban Crow? Do you have anything for Pisces? Anything for Pisces this week from Urban Crow? Nothing for Pisces from Urban Crow. That seems odd. Really? Okay. Okay. Nothing from Urban Crow. Fascinating. Okay, all right. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Something's gonna turn upside down or be flipped on its head, or I don't know, something's gonna flip around to be a different dynamic, a different, whatever's been going on, the dynamic that's been going, you've been going one way and it's just gonna do a 180 back that way. I think I did like 360s, three 360s and then back that way. Okay, so powerful change. Something's flipping around. Some sort of story that's been going is going to have a big change. We also have new romantic cycle begins. So this is a beginning. I don't really refer to this as a romantic cycle, but a relationship with equal communication, equal effort, give and take. There's some sort of new beginning here that's going to have a lot of reciprocity and really balanced new. Could be a new beginning of an older relationship, a new start to that, or just a new, a brand new beginning here. With there's going to be lots of compromise. There's going to be a nice teamwork aspect to this. It's going to be a lot of good communication and a really balanced relationship. So that seems cool. We'll have another new moon in Virgo. Another beginning, and we're talking about a time to give rather than take. But I feel that this card is more like about what are you bringing to the situation? What is your tone? What is your attitude? What is your what do you bring to the situation? What do you bring to the equation? And really thinking about that, thinking about maybe what you want out of this, maybe what you're willing to do or not do. Really thinking about how you contribute to the dynamic and you contribute to the equation here. And then we have conclusions are within reach. So something is within reach. I find that really interesting. That's something close at hand. Something's being decided. A choice is being made. This could be an ending coming in. An ending you're not going to go back to. You're not going back to a situation. This could be a milestone in a way of, you know, as our blood makes its way through our veins and vessels, there's the, you know, we pump the blood and then we have these valves that shut that prevent the blood from going back down. And it's all part of a process. So each time our blood goes through one of those valves and it shuts behind it, it's almost like a milestone. Like, okay, a little closer back to the heart, not going back, a little closer back to the heart, not going back, a little closer to the heart, but not going back. So it's a milestone in a process. So there's something that we're not going back to. There's something that closes behind us like a valve, you know, and this is all in the service of life, in the service of staying alive, in the service of the whole process of life, that things have to close behind us and things end. But I don't get this feeling with these other cards and these new cycles. It's almost like we're entering a new phase and we're not going back to the old one. I don't get a very scary sense with this. expect powerful change, and the change could be that what's gone on, we're through this process, this part of the process, this passage has been cleared. This I think about the locks and going through locks and those walls coming up or coming together, and then we're leveling up, and we're not going back that way. We're preparing for the next thing, the next level in the lock. So that's with these new moons, I see like a new part of the locks here, and the doors shutting on something else. And it's not necessarily a big ending in our life. It could just be, that level doesn't need to be repeated. That level is over. We're done with that lesson or that situation, and we're entering like a new romantic cycle. Like it's a new part of our relationship with this person, a new dynamic, a new part of the cycle with this situation or with this person. This one level is completed, and there's a new level occurring here. I'm not going to go back to the old level. Okay, Pisces. This is your past. This is your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Oh. Two difficult cards in difficult placements that are difficult for me, at least, to interpret. I've done it before. I'll do it again, but I can't remember what I came to before. So, this is a new, whatever reading we did before with these energies showing up in these positions is gone. It's past. Those are concluded. We'll try again anew with reading some difficult cards in some difficult positions here. In your recent past, you have Knight of Swords. This Knight is all about communication, swift, clear communication, swift, clear understanding. Knights communicate, they move forward. Knight of Swords moves forward very fast. There's a sense of justice with the Knight of Swords, or truth coming in here to break through some clouds, to clarity coming in to break through something that's been foggy or unclear. So some fast-moving energy, fast-moving communication coming in here. It has come in here already. Things moved at some point very quickly, very clearly. A lot of understanding and a lot of clarity. Full understanding and full clarity, no, but certainly some. We broke through something. We moved fast. It was a flash of lightning that illuminated a situation that's been a little bit murky and difficult to understand and see. Two of Wands, we have something we see. We have a place we know we're going. We know we're going to the moon. We know our intuition is calling us forward. The Wands are all about intuition, creative processes. We don't know how to get there. We don't know how to get there, but there's some calculating, some figuring out. We're figuring something out here. Okay, we saw something. We got the overview. We saw the overview. We had some communication. We broke through the clouds, and now what? Now what? We've got some calculating, some things to figure out. It's not necessarily, it's the two, and I feel like, the ace puts us in the suit, like the beginning, okay, the beginning of an idea, the beginning of a feeling, the beginning of a relationship, beginning of something. And the two, except for in the cups, it's this hesitancy and like, how is that going to happen? So you have this intuition, and now there's like some sort of calculation. We go back to sort of a swords energy, like of calculating, thinking things through, being logical, being clear and logical, and figuring something out in a more logical plane. Even though our intuition is calling us forward, we're having a moment where we're pulled out of the intuition. We're like, okay, so if that's where I'm going, how am I going to get there? How do I pack the car? How much gas am I going to need? I should probably get an oil change before I go. Like, there's just like a lot of calculating and a lot of figuring out what the next steps are. How, in fact, would I get there if I was headed there? If I'm headed in this direction, if I'm getting an intuitive pull in this direction, exactly what would that look like? Thinking it through, figuring it out. How would this look like? What would this look like if I actually did head in the direction that my heart is pulling me in? What kind of planning, what kind of things, practical day-to-day things would I need to be dealing with here? And then we have, in your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, for me, this does strike fear in my heart, having to make a decision between multiple equally good options. So this would be my fears. Oh my gosh. everything looks good. There's a lot of possibilities here. What am I going to decide? Where am I going to go with this? So, so there is sort of, maybe there's some practical things you figured out, and now you might be worried, you might be figuring out, trying to decide on something, trying to decide on what route is most likely to make it easier for me to feel happy, right? Because nothing's going to make us happy if we're not already on that train and on board with that and making commitments to be happy. But there are some situations that make it a whole lot easier to be happy, to be at peace, to not be filled with anxiety and fear, right? So there are some situations. It can be a struggle to make choices and decisions, not knowing exactly what's going to be more conducive to happiness and less conducive to happiness before we try it, right? So this is an inner debate, trying to figure out what's the best choice, what's the best course of action, what do I want to prioritize? So this is an inner debate that you have going on here of what to prioritize, how to deal with something, how to interact with a decision, how to make this decision. You could be feeling overwhelmed by the options, not knowing which way to go, and dealing with having to make a decision. You could also be, some of you might look forward to, this could be a hope. I hope I have lots of options. Kind of that would be more ideal if you didn't get stressed out about a bunch of options. But there's maybe hoping for more options, maybe hoping for a couple different routes to go, a couple different ways to do something, or a couple different something to pick from, and hoping for that. But it seems like you've got some sort of inner debate here as you try to you're figuring out how to accomplish a dream, and here you're debating what might be the best route to do that. You've got a couple ways to go here. So, or it could be trying to figure out, is this really, having those doubts about, is this really the best idea? Is this really I'm calculating how to get here. Do I really want to go there after all? Maybe I just want to stay home instead of going on this road trip because it seems like it's a little bit of work. So there could be some options and some inner debate here, or a desire to pick something, even though you don't know how to get there. We have an ace here now. We have the Ace of Pentacles, something not happening in real life, something not coming into fruition. Maybe it's been planned for, organized for, wanted for a long time, and it's just not happening. It's not taking root here. It's not developing. We're not seeing that initial, we're not seeing the job offer. We're not seeing the, initial beginning in reality of some sort of maybe even relationship. We've got a couple of relationship cards here. We're not seeing the beginning. We're not seeing a start I think it's a longed for start, a prepared for start, something new coming in our 3D, something actually like an actual job, an actual relationship, something like that happening in our real life, and it's just not here. And I think this is maybe causing us to wonder if we made the right choice, the right decision. You may be second guessing these choices and these decisions because you're not seeing the fruit of it. You're not seeing it even starting. Something's not starting. We had, we're planning something. We're trying to figure out something. We're doubting our decision maybe and what we've done. And then you've got this and then nothing's happening. So this maybe has you doubting, how is this the right choice? Did I make the right choice? Am I making the right choice? Is this the right option? So because something's just not going on, just not moving forward, we're not seeing it come up. In your environment, you've got the Ten of Pentacles, family issues, family money, issues of inheritance. I feel like this can be attitudes or beliefs that we inherit from our families, but it's also just some things maybe your environment has reached its full potential, as much money as it's going to make, as much as it's going to grow, right? Because we see the tree chopped down. Well, the tree's not going to keep growing. We've reached the maximum amount of growth that this tree can have. So there might be something in your environment pertaining to work, pertaining to money, where it's reached its maximum. There's no more growth here. There's no more potential for growth here. This is where it is. This can also deal with family money, inheritances. You might be dealing with an inheritance, or all of the abundance of issues that go around inheritance here. And this can have to do with yeah, so the 10 is the maximum amount that suit has for us, the maximum amount of potential, and this would be earning potential or abundant potential that a situation in your environment has. That's what I'm getting really strongly here. There could be some of you dealing with inheritance issues or family money. There could be some family money issues here going on in your environment as well. But in a way, this is a conclusion, right? This 10 is the completion of something, the conclusion of something, and it's ending, and it is a conclusion. We've gotten as far as we're going to go here. In this, if we want to take the blood vessel idea, in this chamber, we've gone as far as we can go. We're not going back, but wait, there's something there that's not quite working in my head. It made sense partially in my head, but there could be something, because it is the completion. That's right. We've got conclusions within reach. Let's forget the blood vessel idea here. Conclusions within reach, some sort of completion, something ending, maybe a job ending, and you don't really know what the next one is. Maybe a relationship ending, something here in the 3D ending, and coming to its full conclusion. It's given all it can give. It's done everything it can here. And yeah. And then in your to-do list, the energy that you are needing to interact with. Now, this one's the hard one for me, the devil energy. So this is like trapped, stuck, and loving it for now. It can be addiction. It can be depression, anxiety, any place where you don't have a lot of mobility, commitments, contracts, a contract you can be really stuck somewhere. This could be being willing to be stuck somewhere. I feel like not with addiction, obviously, or anything that's unhealthy, because the devil card is anything that doesn't allow us full freedom of movement. So a contract could be a great thing, right? It could be something that we want, but eventually we'll have to understand that it isn't going to allow us the full freedom of movement if we didn't have a contract. So let's say you're an independent worker and you work when you want and when you don't want, and suddenly you're being offered like a job with regular hours and responsibilities. And this would be saying in your to-do list, this would be saying take an opportunity for a contract, take an opportunity for something, even though it is like trapping you and limiting your freedom. Ultimately, it is going to be, it would be something to at least seriously consider, and understanding the pros and cons of a contract, being in a contract with somebody or something, or and the pros and cons of versus being able to set your hours and all of that. So, and having more freedom. So, there is something here, you might have an opportunity. So this isn't necessarily a do this or you're going to screw everything up, but this is like a looking for opportunities to engage with, maybe a contract is like the only positive thing I can think of with this right now, but this could also be looking at addiction issues, looking at the places where you are trapped, where you are stuck, where you're having a delusion that this is a great time and it's actually not, where you're having the delusion like, oh, I love, drinking. Like if you like drinking, you like your drinks, and it's just a good time, but that's kind of self-deluded thinking. So we might want to look at places where we might be self-deluding, entrapping ourselves, looking at our relationships with depression or anxiety or anything that can feel limiting, looking at addiction issues, understanding. I think it's more like understanding the pros and cons of where we're at and dealing with a sense of, it's not the hanged man. If we were just dealing with a sense of being stuck somewhere, through external sources, but this is like decisions we make that get us stuck and trap ourselves. But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes that can be a supportive and good thing and something that we actually want to see. So anyway, considering, I think it's looking at options, or looking at where we are colluding in our own entrapments. For better or for worse, because they can be good. This could be a marriage too. That bondage. You're not free to do whatever you want, but also, did you want that? Like, there's a pro. So, yeah. My phone did its thing. So just feeling like, where are we obsessing about something? Where are we entrapping and ensnaring ourselves? Where are the points where we don't have full freedom? And are we willingly, fully choosing that lack of freedom, or choosing those bonds? Because there are bonds that I think are worth choosing, but this might be looking at where you're stuck and you're trapping yourself, or colluding with an entrapment of yourself. So you're taking an opportunity to look at that. I mean, what you're bringing to your own entrapment. What are you bringing to your own? In what ways are you willingly, being stuck here? The obsession, are you obsessing about something? There is like what are you doing that's contributing to a sense to your not freedom, to your not freedom? What are you doing that's part of your not freedom here? And then as a possible outcome, as a warning, we have 7 of Swords. We have, this is like, in a way, she is a snake. There's like some shallow little trappings here, and Lord knows I love cute outfits and florals, but she has dressed up as something she's not, right? So to me, the 7 of Swords can be being a little secretive. This could be, this could come as a warning, as someone's trying to entrap you. There's a manipulative vibe to this. Like, I'm going to control your behavior by only showing you certain things. So if you are considering a contract, do be aware that the other party may not be as upfront and forthright as they're coming across as they're saying. They may have ulterior motives. This could also be a notice to you to play your cards a little more closely to your chest. You don't need to go out telling everybody everything. You don't need to share your truest intentions, especially in some sort of negotiation where the other side may not be doing that too. It's not like our favorite thing, but there are situations in life where we do need to be a little bit secretive and be a little bit hidden in our motivations and what we want. Otherwise we leave ourselves vulnerable as well. So also, these birds here, this is the nest. She's stealing from their nest. And this could be you keeping a closer watch on your own interests, and on what's yours in your nest and your nest egg, and keeping a close watch on that, and being aware that there are people around you with other motivations. Not being paranoid, but being just aware that any kind of contract that comes forward, or anything that comes forward, everything's not what it seems with that. So dig a little deeper. It may be fine, but this is just a warning to dig a little deeper. If you are offered something, or if something comes up that seems a little too good to be true, do not partake in your own entrapment here. So, all right, Pisces, that was a little bit hit and miss there. I do like this, expect powerful change. So that seems cool, and some sort of new give and take communication, new relationship here. That sounds great, but do look at where you're contributing to your own stuckness, and also making sure that you're looking out for your best interests, and keeping an eye on what's yours. And not straying too far, not getting too distracted from the task at hand and from what you need to be doing. So, okay, I hope that that's helpful for you, and I hope you have a great week.